All right, so I thought it would be nice to just start out this week with some more practice drills. And this worksheet is our actual basic strokes. So if you are unfamiliar with the basic strokes, these are basically what you need to know to learn pretty much every letter in the English alphabet. If you just practice this page over and over and over again, that's going to give you a pretty good start to beginning hand lettering, and it's so easy. So when you look at this worksheet page, if you're using this, I do want to mention you can always do this freehand. You don't have to have the worksheets. I just like worksheets, so even I just make them for myself sometimes. And so I thought I would share them with you this week. But you can always do this freehand, and I may also do some weeks where everything is freehand as well. But I did want to show you this because this is very foundational for hand lettering. So for this one, I did put the arrows to show you which direction we're going in. And so the goal here is when the arrows are going down, you're going to push harder on your brush pen and you're going to get a thicker stroke. And when the arrows are going up, you're going to lighten up your pressure and you're going to get a thinner stroke. So you can see the difference here from the first to the second. So I would recommend just keeping these on hand for when you're not quite sure what to letter. I think starting with some warm-up drills is just really good for anyone. It doesn't mean that you're like a beginner or you are just learning. You don't need to save these for those early days of hand lettering. These are just good to practice and use as like a warm-up. So I just personally am kind of the belief that we are never like too good to go back to the basics. I don't feel like I will ever have like arrived and completely stopped learning and growing. That's just not, I don't know, that's just not how I think of things. And so I always think that things like this are good to go back and revisit. And it might just be that it's going to teach you something new that you were not doing before, or it might just be a good warm-up. So don't feel like you need to do something else if you've been doing lettering for a while. This is always, in my opinion, something good to go back to. But on that note, I did want to ask you something because this came up when one of you left a comment on one of my videos recently on my How to Hand Letter channel. And they said that using your left hand, or your non-dominant hand, I should say, using my left hand, but using your non-dominant hand for hand lettering or writing is, I can't remember if they said it's good for your brain or it helps make new connections, or maybe I know that I've read about this with like neuroplasticity. So I'm curious if you guys have ever tried it. I do want to point out my pen is not doing well. So I'm going to switch to this Karen Brush Marker Pro and throw away this Marvy color and marker. I have found that as I'm doing more hand lettering lately, I have been finding markers and pens that just need to be thrown away. So that might happen occasionally. Okay, so the color isn't going to totally match here, but that's okay. But going back to writing with your non-dominant hand, this is actually something I've heard of and like read about recently, because as you guys know, my husband had brain surgery about almost a year ago now, actually. And so we've read about different things that can help with neuroplasticity. I know I haven't talked about the details of this a lot, but he had a good chunk of his brain removed. And it was on the left side, which is I am told, a very critical area, and not always, we were told it's not very common for them to see it like a resection cavity like his in that area, because the left side has so many areas that do really important things, and a lot of times you can't operate there. And so he did have a good amount taken out. The area that he had it removed from was his left temporal lobe, but it was just kind of in an area where I don't know, one of the doctors said it was just far enough forward that it didn't touch this, or if it would have gone up a little bit, it would have touched this. I'm probably getting the details wrong. That's why I'm being vague. But basically, it was a big resection, And so we've thought about things to try and help his brain rewire. And honestly, without trying, it has done a really good job. You would never know that he had that much of his brain removed. He's just done exceptionally well. He struggles to remember people's names sometimes, but I mean, a lot of us do that, and we didn't have brain surgery, and so we cannot complain at all. But one thing we did try to do is he tried to start brushing his teeth with his right hand. So he's left-handed, so his non-dominant hand is his right hand. And he said it was so hard. And so I tried it myself, and I was like stabbing my gums with my toothbrush. So I'm not going to do that anymore because I don't want to lose any of my teeth. It was kind of painful. I do not recommend. But I think I could try to practice hand lettering with my left hand. What do you think? I won't do it today because I have the camera set up on the wrong side, but it reminded me of when I was a kid. I remember specifically one summer, I must have been like around, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10. And I remember one summer trying to teach myself to write with my left hand. And I worked really hard at it. And I remember like I kind of could do it. And so today this came up with one of my kids, and I was like, let me just see if I can write with my left hand. And it actually wasn't that hard. Now, it didn't look awesome, but I mean, it was legible. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe that's something that I should have Travis practice with me because he actually is left-handed. And so left-handed hand lettering is pretty hard because you're bringing your hand across the page. And so with these brush pens that take a little bit of time to dry, you can oftentimes like streak across the page, and just it's from what I hear, it's very difficult. So maybe I could teach him to hand letter with his right hand, even though he's left-handed. I don't know. I thought that would just be something fun to try sometime. Maybe not on camera. You guys probably don't want to see that, but we will see. And maybe that will be helpful to practice. So, okay, so with this page done, I just want to show you that these strokes here, like I said, these are kind of the basic strokes of hand lettering. So I would recommend printing out a bunch of these and just using this as practice to warm up, to make sure you're just feeling solid in the foundational strokes if you're struggling with hand lettering. If you feel great about these and just want to jump into hand lettering, then that's fine too. But even if these feel like second nature to you, or like you could do these with your eyes shut, I still think these are a really good practice, because to me, when things feel really easy like that is when it also feels really rewarding and really relaxing. And so I never mind coming back to the basics. That is something I will probably always enjoy doing. So like I said, print out a few of these. I think I'm going to use these for one more day this week, and then I'll freehand them one day. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.